welcome into From the Tips, episode 4. How you doing, Drew?
I'm fantastic. I'm better than a lot of those guys that were playing at Sawgrass today. It was kind of a brutal day out there, to say the least.
Oh my God. I was watching that and I was just like, are you kidding me with this? 17 where that pin placement? Oh my goodness.
Well, the top shelf was like hitting a parking lot. It's already, that top shelf was rock hard. I bet they're on syringing that green tonight because there were some shots. If you hit it on the top shelf, it was going in the water. You had to land it short and kind of skip it up there. What a fun golf. Well, I think the first player to play it this year hit it in the water. So kind of started out the week right.
Yeah. It's and we're gonna really we're gonna dive into this tournament, and we're probably gonna talk tournament all for the whole show.
Let's do it, man.
So let me do something here real quick. Dude, I don't know about you, but my DFS lineups are all over the freaking board.
Mine are terrible. It's just the way it is. I mean, a lot of big names there was a time where I saw it was Rory, Schofley, multiple guys just sitting at 6 over. There was a time where Finau was at 8 over. Again, just took these guys' lunch. If you were not on today, the fact that Sergio shot 7 under was really impressive because I watched a lot of his round and he was good. But I do think the guys in the morning got a little earlier, a little better draw. The wind was a little up this afternoon. But I think, for the rest of the week, the weather looks good. But just a lot of guys shot themselves. That we always talk about this. You can shoot yourself out of it. Henrik Stenson, for example, 85 today. That's not going to get it done.
No. And we're going to get to that. I do want to start at the bottom and talk about some notables. And I wrote some names down as I've been watching. And the name that I really want to talk about first is Rory. What is up?
He was terrible. He was terrible. And some of us, we kind of saw it coming to an extent.
Three of the four of us faded him.
I didn't see 79. I didn't see that happening. Again, he's just missing it all over the place. It's hard to get it back on track at this golf course too, because you got to pick your spots to try to make birdies. You can't just go at flags. And so when you start making bogeys and you make doubles, and it's just so hard to get those shots back. And then you start to press. It's just not a golf course you can do it at. And that puts him out of the golf tournament.
Let's face it. We shared the stats. We shared the stats on where we were fading the guy. We told everybody he was 95th in this field in his last 36 rounds in good drives. We shared that he was almost 80th in this field in approach, and so those two things are what you need. Those are the two biggest ingredients you need for this course. You need to be on the fairway, and you need to be able to hit some greens, and he's not doing them. And so
he didn't even hit half the fairways today. 42% of the fairways is not going to get it done.
Now, don't get me wrong. Rory is the kind of guy that could come back and he can do this. He can make the cut. But
I agree with that.
But he's 14 back?
Yep. He's 14 back.
He's 14 back.
That's a long way to be back after one day.
Yeah, and I was looking at the the tiers, and the way I see it right now, +3 is live.
Oh, sure.
+3 is live. +4 needs a little help. You're definitely going to need people to fall back. And +6 and beyond, you just want to try to respectfully finish. But who knows what? All I know is they're not calling for any wind the rest of the weekend, so it's going to be calm.
Yeah.
There was a little bit of wind. You're right. There was a little bit of wind this afternoon, more so than this morning. So the guys that played this afternoon are going to get a piece of that calm morning course.
Yeah, fresh greens. Absolutely.
So that can make a difference. So Rory, +7. There's another one I really want to talk about. And one of our boys, he picked this guy, Sam Burns. What the hell? What the hell's going on with Sam Burns?
He's kind of been in. We've been keeping an eye on him because the model sometimes likes him or has to an extent, but it seems like the last 3 weeks has kind of just started to do this a little bit. And he's a guy that's been playing a lot of golf too. And we know this has been kind of an unprecedented stretch as far as the amount of golf and the amount of good golf we've been watching. We saw guys take off at WGC this year just because of how compact the schedule is going up into the Masters. So, yeah, it could be wearing down on the guy, but it does seem like he's starting to hit that wall, as we say, when you play so much golf. But yeah, what did he finish today? A little
9
81.
over.
Yeah, not going to do it. And right below that's Matt Neesmith, who's been playing really well.
Yeah, that was one of my value plays.
Yeah.
He's so good with his irons, and this course just ate him alive too. It ate a lot, but you know what? It ate a lot of people alive. But the one I was really surprised out, besides Rory, Tony Finau. Even playing in the AM, that's 6 over.
It was right out of the gate too.
It could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, he shot somewhere around even par on the back 9. I think he came out and made triple on the first hole, or went triple bogey, or went quad par. I can't remember. It was at like 6:45 this morning. But you're right. That immediately puts you, again, we talked about that, immediately puts you in, kind of have to put the pedal down to do something. And it's just not, it's not there with this golf course. You can make birdies, but you got to make them in your spots. You're not going to go make a flurry of birdies. And guys like, him, it's just, he's just too far back at this point, in my opinion. He's going to have to get something go low. But yeah, you're very surprised by that, especially coming off 3 seconds in a row. So you expect him to just be chalk and be in contention. So
there's a lot of people that have him at least as a top 10 Money in the Bank. There's probably a lot of money on him for top 10. He did finish even par on the back. He shot 36 on the back. He shot a 42 on the front. And in the front is 6 of the easiest holes on the course. And so that doesn't look good. Hopefully he can make up some ground pretty quick. He's a guy that can go on a tear.
Sure.
And so, even though he's +6, wow, that's ugly. As I was looking at Rory's card, you realize that he birdied the first 2 holes.
Rory did this morning.
Oh, you know what? He started on 10, didn't he?
Yeah, he birdied 10 and 11.
My bad. He started on 10. He started with a double, and then on 13 he had a bogey, and then he had that 8 on 18. And then he turns around with 3 birdies in the next 5 holes, but he had 2 bogeys in between them, and then a bogey on his last hole at 6. So, at 9. So I'm like, when you bogey the par 5-9, yeah, you got trouble. And but that's probably the ugliest card he's shot professionally in a long time.
Oh, absolutely. He's a guy that, like you said, he feasts on the par 5s, and today he played them in even par. And so that's not going to get it done. And especially since the par 5s here are gettable, they're not overly long. We see 16s very gettable. So yeah, that's a round he'll want to put behind him. But again, it's kind of, it seems like with Rory, it's not like if he has one of those bad rounds, just when. Is it going to be round 1? Is it going to be round 3? This time he just got it out of the way early.
Right. By the way, we were just talking about Sam Burns. He birdied number 3, and after that, he 1 bogey, 2 bogey, 3 bogey, 4, 5 bogeys, and a triple and a double.
That's a rough day. That's one of those days you stop by the local pub on the way back to the hotel.
And just for fun, I want to look at Henrik's round. Henrik did have 2 bogeys and shot an 85. 2 birdies and shot an 85. And so, my God. This is it's funny because it makes them human.
Oh, sure.
And so some other notes at the bottom. I'm not surprised. Ricky Fowler 5 over. Something's just missing in his game. And the funny thing is Ricky actually had 4 birdies on the card. And so to have a 5 over with 4 birdies on the card is a little surprising. Ian Poulter had a 5 over.
30 yards too, Ricky did. So that just shows you how off. And you thought maybe coming back to the Players, maybe if this was a week that he might get some good vibes going, but no, it's just not there. It's sad because, again, he's a fan favorite, but at this point it's like he's going through all these swing changes, and then you're with this coach and you're not getting results. Do you go look elsewhere and you had to restart everything? And it's just that's why when it gets going down, it's so hard to get back up. And it seems like it's a long way for him to get back to playing even just, golf where we could expect to see him around on the weekend.
Right. Another one that's I find interesting, and that's Bubba. He was 2 under. He was 1 under he shot a 35 on the back, and then he goes and shoots a 41 on the front, and goes from 1 under to 4 over. Talk a little bit about more why this course is so tough.
Well, because
there wasn't a lot of wind. It was a little bit, but
it wasn't blowing 25 or anything. So the thing is that's important about this golf course is you can get yourself in the wrong spots, and that doesn't even mean missing the ball into the trees. You can get yourself into spots even on the fairways where you don't have access to hole locations, and you see almost all these greens are crowned to where when you're in these settling areas, these areas in the bunkers, these runoff areas, it's extremely difficult to get up and down because you're having to hit the ball 5 feet above you just to get the ball on the green. But yeah, and then once you get into the pine straw and stuff, it's super dense. It's just, again, it's a very, and this is why you kind of see some really good of the ball strikers that are up there at this point, because you got to kind of be able to put that ball and find it and be able to not only place it in the fairway, but place it in the proper parts of the fairway and the proper sections of the green. They were showing today 13, which is the par 3. It has almost 100 more 3-putts over the last 15 years than any hole in golf. And it's 185-yard par 3. That just shows you the crazy green complex. So, yeah, it's great you hit the green, but where on the green are you hitting it? You'd rather have 35 feet up the hill than 20 feet, cross, down the hill or, a putt, breaking either way. So it's you really got to be able to miss it in the right spots. And again, if you don't, it gets ugly, which, there was a few guys that really surprised me that they played the way they did, to be honest with you, because, one is, I'm sure we'll bring him up, is Phil. Like, who the hell thought we'd wake up with Phil on the
laughing
top of the leaderboard? Yeah.
We were laughing about him. We weren't laughing about him. I mean, Phil is a legend.
But his game,
his better days are past him, obviously.
Yeah.
So you were the one that said he will not make the cut.
Yeah, I did. I boldly said that on Tuesday night, and then I woke up and I'm like, are you serious? So I think Phil himself is even, a little surprised at what's going on.
Yeah, he goes, I can't believe this.
Exactly.
A couple more notable guys near the bottom that you just got to talk about, and that is Xander Schofley continues to struggle. 4 over, and obviously after it's all said and done, 4 over is not the worst. But for these, I'm telling you, these 10K guys, I'm starting to think it's just not worth. It's not worth playing them at all.
You're right, and it kind of shook out that way today too, didn't it?
Yeah, because you got Schofley. Who are your 10K guys? Rory.
I had
DJ,
Rom and Schofley.
Xander,
yeah. Oh yeah.
And Rom. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so the best is Rom, and he's even. And he missed. Oh, by the way, he missed a freaking 2-foot putt on 18, and I think it cost me my showdown. I was winning my showdown.
Damn you, Rom. Damn you.
Hold on one second. I'm gonna tell you right now. That's just.
And Xander, to touch on your point, Xander lost almost a stroke and a half on the greens today. Just not going to get it done, losing that kind of ground on the greens, and only hitting 61% of your greens in regulation.
Yep, the bogey on 18 took me out of the cash. Son of a bitch. Rom pisses me off. But on the Schofley round, double on 1, double on 17, bogey at 18. I can't argue a bogey on 18.
No, it's hard.
He had 3 birdies, but he had 2 doubles and 4 bogeys, and so he played the first round. He played the first 9 under. He was 35, but that 41 on the back.
And you just got to stay away from the big number. I mean, you're going to make bogeys. It's really just making sure you don't make any others, because they're so damn hard to come back from, because there's not that many green light birdie opportunities out there unless you're putting the ball in the correct spot.
Right. Terrell Hatton, another one, 4 over. He was a popular play among us. Now, Guru's not on to defend himself, but we kind of teased him, and he says, I know. He played Hideki again.
And things were going well for a while for Guru. Guru was probably feeling well. I did see Hideki at 2 under at one point. I'm like, wow, okay. But, of course, things over time come out, and that's kind of how it. And this golf course will bring out your flaws and definitely bring them to light.
Well, he was never 2 under, but he was 1 under through 9.
Okay.
His card was he shot a 35, and he on the back 9 where he started, he birdied 17 of all holes, and then he went to the front 9, and it was bogey, par, double, bogey, par, bogey. And so he basically blew it on the front 9.
41.
He shot a 41 on the front 9. And so kind of did that last week too, where he looked really good for the first 9, and then he kind of fell apart at the second 9. Actually, last week it was like the last hole.
Yeah,
but, it was on 18 where he blew up. But you know what? I still consider +4 live based on what's going on in this field, and so Guru's good at this.
Yeah, and like we said on Tuesday, Hideki lost a stroke and a half on the greens.
Right.
It's what it is. I mean, it's the difference of gaining a stroke on the field and losing a stroke and a half puts you in his position as to others that are, again, a stroke here and there is going to make a difference come the weekend. But yeah, when you're losing a stroke and a half a day on the field, you have to hit the ball so well, and you have to hit the ball close enough to where you're giving yourself legit chances, because he's such a good ball striker. But when his ball striking's not there for whatever reason on a given day, he's not a guy that can rely on the putter like a lot of other guys can.
Right. Oh yeah, I totally agree with you. I'm currently kind of keeping up with what's going on, the guys that are still out there. And Tommy Fleetwood, he just coming off of a double bogey. He had actually had quite a few birdies. So he is now 2 over with 1 hole to play. And so it's interesting where he's at. I remember I faded him.
You did. And I do remember that.
And I got some shit for it. But hey, you know what? He's playing respectable, and we'll see how he finishes up here.
Will Zalatoris is still on the golf course.
Yeah, Will, he's up there. He just had a bogey a little while ago. Let me see where he's at right now.
He's at 3.
Is he still 3?
Yeah, through 17.
Yeah, he's playing pretty good, and I love that guy. And I played him a lot. And so, yep, he just parred 16 and 17, and so he's going to 18 now.
Yeah, it looks like he hit it to 15 feet on 17, which is pretty dang good today.
Yep, so he's tied 6 going into round 2, playing in the morning. I kind of like his position right there. You know who I really like is Gary Woodland. Remember I was talking about him in the chat this week? He was 300 to 1, and here he is, 2 under. You know who's going to be sick is our boy Justin. If Woodland was, because he's been on Woodland so many times.
Yeah, in the time that he's off of him, Gary actually shows up to play. It's incredible stuff.
This is just, what can you do, man? Some surprises. I will say Ryan Palmer is a surprise at 2 under. I did not like him on this course. And Jason Kokrak, he's just steady as he goes. And Jason
really Day, playing well.
I faded Jason Day. He's 2 under. He's proven me wrong, and so but there's time. But he played it. He played a sweet round, and there's the Phil Mickelson at 1 under. Justin Thomas started off pretty rough, and Justin Thomas is very live. Okay, he's very live at 1 under, and
without a doubt. Yeah,
that double on 17 killed him. But if he didn't have that, he only had 1 bogey on the card, and he had 4 birdies. And so, and he's such a good iron player. I don't think he's going to have that mistake again.
So let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Chances Phil breaks 74 tomorrow.
I like it.
Okay.
Chances Phil?
Yeah, Phil.
Phil. Oh, no. No,
Okay.
I thought you were talking about Kokrak, but I was looking at a comment on the thing. I actually, no, I don't think he will. I think he's going to have a tough. I think he's going to have a tough afternoon. And I think the
I
greens are
hope
going to a little
not.
firmer, and so he will not do it. We do have our number one fan all Falcon Day on the show right
Good evening,
now.
sir.
We already talked about Rory. He's going to have to work a little harder in that clubhouse, pumping iron to get ready to lift that trophy up.
Hey, did you happen to get to be able to check out any like the cool stuff they were doing with PGA Tour Live today, and how you can see basically every group and follow whoever you wanted?
I'm not a member of the NBC Gold, and so you have to be a member of that. I'm probably going to have to break down and get it.
I know a guy with a password.
Well, we may have to talk off the air.
But yeah, it was really cool. So you could even today, though, for example, and through this week, you can actually go to PGAtour.com. You don't have to have the membership, and you can stream any group on there, which is pretty incredible.
Yeah, I got to get some of that action.
It was so fun today. Like I was like, holy shit, Phil is playing well. I'm gonna go watch Phil. And then Harry Higgs was like there for a while, and that's my guy. I'm like, I'm gonna go watch him. But I was just bouncing back and forth. It was fun.
So that's commercial free what you were watching, right?
Yes.
Because let me tell you something. And I almost tweeted this. I saw Justin Rose more today on TV commercials than I've seen him on the greens in 3 months. He was on every commercial break, and
2 weeks in a row because it was MasterCard was a sponsor last week, and
right. Well, here's the cool story is him withdrawing allowed Steve Stricker, who's a friend of mine. I know Steve, real good friend of where I used to work up in Wisconsin, and he's from Wisconsin. I met him a few times, talked to him.
Good dude.
He's 2 under, man. 2 under, wasn't even in the field until this morning. And so, I love that guy. And so pretty impressive with him. But I'm going to open the floor up and let you talk your boy.
Yeah.
He had I mean, man, is he hitting this driver like better than you've seen in a long time?
It was awesome. And this is why, like, I've been somewhat hesitantly confident, but confident. It's just because I've kind of seen this coming together. I mean, his game, I did not worry about him going and shooting himself out of the tournament today because he's done exactly what we talked about. He's avoided the big numbers the last 5 weeks, and he's hitting the ball in play, and he's not everywhere. You're right. The driver looked really good today. I thought he played better than his score, but you're okay with that. Again, he stepped up. He did what he needed to do. You would like to see him get that birdie there on 16. But again, all in all, it was a pretty steady, pretty easy round for Jordan Spieth. He had the 100-foot putt.
The one bogey on 13, and that's the only blemish on his card. And so steady wins the race on this kind of course. But,
85% of fairways today.
3 birdies, 1 bogey. I'll take it. And if he's going to keep hitting fairways like that, he's going to be in this thing.
Yeah, it was fun to watch. And 85% of the fairways, 83% of the greens, gaining a stroke on the field on the greens. That's kind of maybe not the MO for the fairways necessarily, but he's pretty much always gaining a stroke on the field on the greens pretty much daily. And if he just continues to hit the ball somewhat like again, I felt like today he could have gotten more out of the round than he actually did, but that's okay. This is not a golf course that typically would set up for Jordan Spieth because he's pretty much everywhere off the tee, but he's kind of honed it in a little bit, and it's been fun, and I'm really looking forward to tomorrow morning. It was terrible having to wait till almost 1 o'clock to see Spieth play today because I was amped up about it. But yeah, right there, 2 under is a perfect position to be in after one round. And again, hopefully with the favorable conditions in the morning, he can go shoot 4 or 5 under.
I think he can do it. And in all Falcon Day, Spieth is scary when he's hitting fairways. He is because his short game's superior. And so he's magical around those greens. I am a little bummed out because tomorrow morning I've got to drive to a meeting, and I'll be in like a 2-hour meeting from 11 to 1 prime time.
Yeah.
And actually, I'll be out of commission from 9:30 to 1 for work. And so maybe I can Maybe I could fall over and bust my skull and
take one for the team, right?
That son of a bitch.
Absolutely. No, it's going to be, again, I was excited. I woke up today. My daughter got up early. I fired up PGA Tour Live at 6:30 a.m. I was watching golf, and it was still dark when the guys were playing one. But I love it, man. Golf has been on in my house since 6:30 a.m. on my lunch break. I did a double TV. I had the featured groups on one TV, the coverage on the other TV. We're going big this week for the players. It's been a fun day one.
Absolutely, it has. All right, there's a few more guys I really want to talk about here.
How about Patrick Reed real quick? Gaining 3 strokes on the field on the greens today. That's probably not going to hold up. Only hitting 57% of the fairways, 60% of the greens. But again, he can roll it. Last week wasn't good. None of us, I think, really took him this week, did we?
As a matter of fact, I faded Reed. Nick faded Reed, and neither one of you guys picked him. And so
he's playing well.
Yeah, we're not even a show. And so he's 2 under. He did not have a blow up. He's steady. He's good. And so I still don't think he's going to win. And we talked about it. We said, you know what? He'll finish top 20, maybe even top 10, but he's not going to win the thing. And so, but there is one guy I want to talk about because I thought at one point he was I thought he was going to get up there, and that's Colin Morikawa. He started out, his card, he started on the front 9. Dude, he birdied 3, birdied 9, 34 on the front, okay? Then he birdied 11, so now he's 3 under. And then he went bogey, par, birdie, bogey for a 37 on the back, so he's only 1 under. You know what? He's in the red, and that's a good thing. But I watched him miss 3 or 4 putts that he had to make. He legit should be 5 under. And,
the one on 13,
that's been the one thing about him is if he's putting, he's going to win.
Yeah, the one on 13 was bad, which was a 3 putt, I believe, and he had maybe 3 feet and he didn't even hit the hole. And then, as you see, he made that birdie on 15. But yeah, again, I know he's been working with I believe Mark O'Mara on the new putting stroke that he's doing, and it's worked well. But again, you're right. That's one of the reasons he's gone to that stroke. It kind of leaves a lot of the left hand out of it. But yeah, when you're not hitting the hole from 3 feet, but his ball striking's so damn good. There's no way in my mind that this guy's not going to be around the top of the leaderboard come Sunday. This is a perfect golf course for him.
I tell you what, if I'm and I am, I was going to say if I'm a betting man, I am. I'm going to have some Morikawa tomorrow. I'll tell you who else I'm going to have, and I really want to talk about this. I want to talk about Victor Hovland. Let's talk about what happened with Victor. There's 2 incidents for him today, right?
Yeah. So the one that I was just reading about that we were talking about a little bit ago is he believe on the 15th hole. So he didn't even know about this till after the round. He got assessed the 2-stroke penalty after the round. What he did was he moved his ball marker. So you know how to move. You move it a putter head out of the way of the opponent or your fellow playing competitor's line. But instead of moving it back the right direction, he moved it 1 more the opposite direction. So the ball's marked here. He went here, and then he went here instead of going here and then back to the ball. And so that's a 2-stroke penalty.
Is that an honest mistake?
I think so. Yeah. You're really not gaining much of an advantage from 6 inches, of an angle when the putt's still the same distance. But sometimes golf has really dumb rules and quirky rules and rules that seem unfair. I still, in my mind, and I was in the PGA program and it was a teaching pro for many years. If you hit a ball in the fairway and it's in a divot, it's bullshit. Take it out of the divot. I seriously believe that. I'll always believe that. You shouldn't be not rewarded for hitting a good shot. But yeah, if there's anybody that is going to be able to overcome 2 boneheaded things that happened today, still sits at even par, it's this kid. He got off to a shaky start this morning. But again, I think his birdie bounce back number that we talked about on Tuesday is way up there. The kid's just got such a good head on his shoulders. And And again, clearly last week did nothing to his psyche. He came out and played well today. And it's just, it stinks because those 2 strokes, you know, it could really mean something come this weekend. And it's just, it's tough.
I mean, he was penalized 2 strokes. And if you didn't, obviously he would be 2 under. But other than that, it's not like, he had 1 double bogey on 11 and the rest were pars and birdies.
Yeah.
And he played clean. And so it's really disappointing to see what happened there because he would definitely be in contention. And you know what? He still could be. And but it really is a shame. I saw a few people talking about how, he that might mess up his psyche. I don't think so. I think that guy's unshakable.
I agree. I do. I agree too. But yeah, to throw in because basically a par turned into a double on 15, and it's one of those things where you get in, you're done with your round, you're signing your scorecard, and they're like, hey, by the way, there's 2-stroke penalty, and that's just got to mess with you a little bit. But yeah, if there's one guy that I have no doubt that steps up tomorrow and plays really, really well, it's him.
Yeah, I agree. Hey, before we get to the rest of the guys on the leaderboard, let's just take a step back to 17th hole. And let's just talk about the AN in the NA.
Yeah.
We'll start with Nah. What the hell, man? Was that a 10 cup moment?
Yes. And Kevin Na, I don't know if you remember when Kevin Na went through a stage with his game where he was just super twitchy and and he can get that way sometimes. And yeah, it was just, he completely lost his mind. And it sucks because, again, you can bust your rear end all day, all 2 days, all 3 days, and then your entire week is ruined on that stupid flip wedge hole, which isn't stupid. We all love it. But how frustrating can that be? But then I think he faked a back injury, which was weak, in my opinion, into withdrawal. But,
is that what he did?
Yeah, I think he said he had a back injury. It's amazing
how all these golfers are withdrawing after back injuries when they get 9s.
It's not. Yeah, I don't like it at all. It's
it looks bad. Look what happened. It started back a few weeks ago with Matt Wolff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, when he was on his way shooting 90.
He blew a huge number and walked off the course. And then you saw it Justin Rose last week, and then you see it with Nah. I'm actually surprised On or somebody else didn't storm off. But
On got on social media afterwards and just made fun of himself.
You know what? He loves that stuff. He's kind of trying to be Homer, but I don't think he's as authentic as Homer.
No, but it's always nice to be able, like the video that we saw with Rory and
oh my God, with Ian Poulter.
Yeah, those
29
guys
over table. Yeah, but realistically, of course, Henrik was on that table with his 85. He had half of it.
Yeah, exactly.
And so, but yeah, that was pretty funny. And so, yeah, the players are out there yucking it up a little bit because you know what? It was brutal.
Yes.
And it still makes me just shake my head at how Sergio Garcia shot a 65.
He was so good from tee to green. It was a joy to watch because he was on one of the featured groups on PGA Tour Live today. So he was kind of just on the other TV. He made 2 eagles. And then, he finishes 3-2-3. So it's a hell of a way to finish. And let's see. Yeah. Sergio Garcia gained almost 4 strokes on the greens today and hit 83% of them. So Sergio's he's not going to gain 4 shots on the entire field maybe ever again. I expect him to come back to life a little bit. Again, his ball striking was good, but Sergio's not a guy that's going to fill it up a lot. His putting is all over the place at times. To gain 3.7 shots on the field on the greens in one day is really impressive. But yeah, you'd have to expect that to kind of come back down to normalcy.
Especially since he's a streaky player and he tends to
he runs a little hot.
He does. And if things aren't going right, he can tumble down those steps. And because he sometimes I think he doesn't care as much as he could or as he should. He's got a perfect life. And so, he's got it going on. But
he's definitely not lived up to the potential that we saw
Oh.
from the shot at Medina when he was a little 100-pound scrawny kid hitting it from behind a tree, or we thought all these great things happen. But you're right. Some people have, when you're making $40-50 million over time. I mean, it's pretty easy to just kind of show up and play, and occasionally, he's good enough to where he's going to play well. But yeah, I mean, I'm not saying he doesn't put in the time. I'm sure he probably does. But yeah, you're right. Some guys are more into the grind, and of course, he's at the back end of his career. He's had a long career, and so some things become more or less important to people over time, I think. And I know he has a family and a kid now, so that could certainly mean something. But you're right. He's definitely a streaky player. And he's prone to a meltdown like we saw in Saudi. And so
let's have some fun here. Today he had one bogey. He had 2 eagles, and he had some putts that you never see him make. So I don't think he's going to have 2 eagles tomorrow. I think there's going to be a few of those putts. To your point, he's not going to gain 4 strokes on the field tomorrow.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
So what if I put the number at 70?
I'm going to still go over. I'm going to go over 70. I can see him shooting par tomorrow. But still is right there. It's hard again because that 7 under was like when we saw the course play. That 7 under felt like a lot like a 62, like on a normal golf course. I mean, that was a really good guy. And if you watch the guy play, it was just fairway green laser, and he was rolling in 25 footers. I'll take over 70, but even 73, he's still right there tomorrow. He's put himself in a nice position. And again, he's one of those guys that got out early today, so we'll see how the afternoon does. It's not even the wind as much as when you're playing on these kind of greens. It's the wear and tear from guys walking around the hole all day long in the spikes. Right. And it's just like when you get the freshly rolled greens in the morning, it's easier to make putts. It's less bouncing off spike marks, even though, yes, you can repair them at this point, but you can't go around replacing every damn spike mark on a Friday afternoon at Sawgrass. You'll be on the green for 45 minutes. So yeah, I expect him to play well because his ball striking is so good, but I don't expect him to go to anything under probably 72 tomorrow.
So the hammer kind of goes, did you guys take Sergio outright? You saw my tweet. You saw my message from Monday, right? My Monday, on Monday I sent a message to the team, and I said, guys, I really like Sergio at 80-1. He loves this course, and but I didn't bet him. I wanted
to bet all the wrong people.
Yeah, I really wanted to. I've seen him play really, really well on this course, and I love 80-1 for that guy, and I didn't do it. And so, yeah, I still don't think he's going to win, but he definitely, to All Falcon Days comment, Sergio didn't meet expectations, but he's had a hell of a career. He has, he's done fine. I'm trying to, Guru threw a big value play at us, and he was, and this guy's been in a lot of our top 20s, but he threw Brian Harmon out there as one of the value plays in the 6K range, and it was a hell of a play, and Brian Harmon's sitting right there at number 2, 5 under. And his card's got all kinds of ink over. I mean, he's got – what I love is he shot the 31 on the back. 31. He had 5 birdies and no bogeys on the back 9. And he had 3 birdies on the front 9 to go with 3 bogeys. Yeah. And so that's a hell of a round for him. And
it is. Yeah, I mean, again, he's not – a guy you necessarily think is going to be there come to win this golf tournament. I mean, but again, top 25, top 10. I mean, he's right there. And yeah, Brian Harmon's a great pick because I didn't see many people taking Brian Harmon.
Nope. And then we got Fitzpatrick at 4 under. He was actually, Fitzpatrick actually could have done a lot better.
I feel like we say that a lot about Matt Fitzpatrick, though. I feel like he tends to leave a lot out there.
He's got all the tools to be a top 10 player in the world, and I'm not sure what his world ranking is right now, his OWGR is. But the guy can play, and he had an eagle today on 9, and so he's a really good player. Our boy, my outright play for the second week in a row because he was 3rd on my cheat sheet, Corey Connors, 4 under.
Yeah. Yeah, back-to-back weeks. Very good value for Corey Connors. It's like, again, a lot of this too is, you take these stats and everything into consideration and whatnot, but there's a lot to be said about form too. And the guy's playing well. And if you're confident, that happens to translate to pretty much anywhere. You know what I mean? If you're hitting it solid, that was a very good play. And I know the country of Canada is probably going to be tuning in to watch Corey come the weekend.
Oh my God. Yeah, I will be. I will be. 2 weeks in a row, I've played this guy, and he's right there. And one other guy that I'm really surprised about, and not surprised, when he gets it going, he's real streaky, and Shane Lowery.
Yes, very
like
streaky is a very good way to sum him up. Yeah. His short game is phenomenal. He's kind of what you expect from an Irishman, right? He really knows, and he plays the short game shots a little different than you see most standard American players. It's a lot more on the ground. It's a lot more bump and runs. It's not just grabbing the old 60. It's taking a 9-iron here, a 7-iron here, and he makes it look exceptionally easy. He's a great talent, but you're right. He's a guy that'll disappear and then show up and be in contention of a major. Just the way he is.
He was 3 under on the par fives today, and he had a 32 on the front 9. And so, yeah, you play. If you finish 3 under on the par fives every day, you're going to be in contention.
Yeah,
so,
I agree. And a guy that I liked coming in, I think a couple other people did too, was Keegan Bradley, who's had a nice day at T12 at 2 under.
Back-to-back weeks. We are. Yeah. Of course, I think we were all on Bradley. We think he's found something. And 2 under. Yep. I mean, the guy's come back. He's back.
Yep, and he gained a whole ton of strokes on the greens, over 3 today as well. So,
not only him, but what about Lee Westwood?
Yeah,
3 under, shot a 69. He followed up last week.
Yeah, and it's surprising. Lee's kind of had a resurrection of his career. I'd say the last 24 months, from what was a dominant beginning and dominated Europe and came over here and played very well. And
remember, 2010, Lee Westwood was number 1 in the world.
Yep. And then kind of just went away for a while. And like it happens, guys lose their game, and that's just the way it works. But yeah, he's had a resurgence, and he's fun to watch play, and he's hitting the ball really well, and he's hitting a lot of fairways. And he's always been an exceptional ball striker. Again, what really separates these guys over a career is how many putts people are making. You got to be able to make putts. These guys are so good, all of them. It really does come down to who's making putts and who can save themselves around the greens. For the most part, these guys, they're hitting it. All of them are hitting it 300 yards. You have Bryson hits at 350, but they can all get around these golf courses. It's about who makes putts and who can get up and down.
So did they not finish the round? Did they stop at the darkness? Or is PGA's leaderboard slow? Because Zalatoris, they're not giving an update on his last hole.
Yeah, I got both ESPN, and yeah, there's still guys out there. I see Mark Hubbard still on or Ryan Moore still on 15. Excuse me.
So they must have suspended it because it's got to be freaking dark.
I mean, it's tough though because they teed off at dark. You know what I mean? The schools are just kicking their ass all day, and so it takes a long time.
Right. And so, it's kind of surprising because I really wanted to see him finish 18 and see where he ends up tomorrow. Maybe they'll have to get out there early in the morning and do it if they didn't finish, because it's already dark here and I'm in the central zone.
Yeah, right.
So I'm guessing that's the case. What are the players? Let's go to Bryson. Bryson, man, I watch this guy. I watch him on the tee, and I'm sitting there going, "My God, man, this guy's a gorilla." But boy, is he rolling the putter? I mean,
yeah, and again, I think that we saw this, and kind of the same thing we saw last week. His swing seems to, he still just goes at it like an animal, but he's kind of seemed to find this this perfect, in the middle where he can kind of lay off a little bit and hit more of a fairway finder. He didn't even hit half his fairways today, but when you hit it, when you hit it as far as a guy like him, even if you're in the rough, it's more of a gouge out wedge onto the green kind of thing, where other guys are hitting 8 irons that don't have the ability to necessarily put enough spin on it or trajectory to even hold these greens. He's rolling the ball very, very well. You're right. And he looks confident. I'm not necessarily surprised that he's at 3 under. However, I faded it. So that was more based off of just coming off a win. But I mean, if it's hard for any of these guys to get up for the Players Championship, then I don't know, there's something wrong with them. But yeah, you'd expect him to be somewhere around there come the weekend. And again, goes off in the morning tomorrow.
Yeah, I definitely did not fade him. And Guru played him. He was one of his top plays, and so yeah. The fact that he's 3 under after round 1,
you take that.
I think he's gonna be there. DraftKings had one of their promos today, plus 150 for Bryson to finish top 20.
Yeah, I'll take that.
I mean, that's almost like free money, and so that was a fun little bet that they pretty much give you every now and then. So, but that's some of the high hard ones, man.
If there's one guy on the leaderboard, in the top 15 that surprises you the most, who would that be?
Well, right now for me, the one I'm surprised the most, it's Harmon at 5 under. That's my biggest surprise. Or I could say Tom Hogue or Denny McCarthy. They're both 3 under sitting there, and Denny McCarthy both those guys shot 69s, and they're both mid 6K players. And then you got guys like Rory Sabatini tied for 6 at 3 under. Of course, the Keegan Bradley, Gary Woodlands. You got quite a few 6K players sitting here in the top 15. Nick Taylor,
Nick Taylor,
Adam Long, 2 under, and Christian Bezuidenhout. Now I'm gonna tell you something about Bezuidenhout. People are looking at that guy. He's a player.
He sure is.
And I don't think people want to play him because they have to say his name.
Exactly.
And believe it or not, I get that one right. But, then you go down a little further. You got Ryan Palmer 2 under, Steve Stricker 2 under, Kokrak I was expecting to be 2 under, Jason Day, even Patton Kazire and Charlie Hoffman, both 6K players.
Patton Kazire's been playing like crap lately too.
Scott Harrington,
I know,
is 2 under, and he's still got 3 holes to play. And of course, Doug Gim is right there. Now, Doug Gim is 1 under, and he's at tied 26. But if you look at that whole board from 1 to 16, there's not a lot of chalk up there. Even Sergio, he's a 7K player, and so this is pretty crazy. Bryson DeChambeau is by far the most expensive player on the board in the top 16, and he's at 3 under. And so, it's crazy, isn't it?
And Bryson was at 9,700 coming into this week, I think.
He
like 10,000 player,
9,900 or something like that. But as a matter of fact, I don't have it in front of me. But but of course, you go back to the bottom, man. I mean, that's where Rory. That's where, Rahm is at even, Rory's at 6 over, and Xander's at 4 over. Those are your 10K guys.
Yeah.
For the second week in a row, we're seeing this kind of crap.
And Dustin Johnson, where'd he finich?
1 over.
Yeah. He was kind of just stuck in neutral all day long. He just couldn't get really anything going.
And I didn't bet him because I'm just not going to bet anything under 20 because it just doesn't – the value's not there. But I did tweet that he's my pick to win the thing because I think he's got the best skill set for this course. But he had that double on 11, and that killed him. And then on 17, that bogey on 17, coming off an eagle on 16.
Yeah,
that right there sucked. Because he got it to under par, and then he.
The wind's immediately out of your sails when you go 3-4, and it's easy to do. It's better than going 3-11, but
So anyway, like I was saying earlier, I think +3 is live for sure, and because there's so many people down there. But look at guys that are still alive, like Danny Lee, Robert McIntyre, Troy Merritt, Bryce Garnett. Another one I'm really surprised and disappointed in was we didn't even mention his name yet, and that's Patrick Cantley.
Oh yeah, we didn't. Yeah, I watched him this morning, and
He's just not looking right,
he
man.
was missing everything right. Just late. But yeah, he wasn't very good. But I think he got it in at 2, right? From what I remember.
He's
From the
2 over.
score.
He shot a 74. He had that double on 15, and he had a when you bogey the 11th, the par 5,
Yeah, that's
that's like
given.
losing 2 strokes.
It sure is. It sure is. But again, I mean, that 2 number, he's still right there with a good round tomorrow. But yeah, I was very surprised. He came out with the perfect conditions early this morning.
Right.
Excuse me. And but again, and Cantley's a guy with his game. You would think that there's no reason that he shouldn't be right up near the lead of this golf tournament. Maybe he will be come the weekend.
That would be it. That would be good. That would be good. It would be our picks.
Yes, I definitely have. And him and Terrell Hatton really let me down today, but here we are.
Right. And Terrell Hatton, boy,
his value seemed too good to be true, but it wasn't.
I know. What was it, 8,500?
Yeah. It was like, wow, these guys. They don't know what the hell they're doing. Well,
him, Hideki, and Schofley, all of them 4 over.
Yeah,
that's crazy, man.
There's going to be a guy that's coming, like you said, from that pack, the 2, 3, 4 pack tomorrow. That'll have a really nice round, and they'll put themselves back in contention.
Well, hey, you want to share a golf tip?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Hold on one second. We're going to share a golf tip. Tell them what we're going to show them.
Yeah, so just we're kind of ending off this little 3-part series that we've done here on the Slice. Of course, we worked on our takeaway, getting the club rather back on the correct plane. Now we're just kind of working on a drill to do in order to not get the club coming over the top. So that's kind of what this one's about.
All right. That being said, let's roll it.
Welcome back to this next week of trying to fix the cure. Thanks for the Slice. Excuse me. Thanks my wife who's playing sick video. So new drill. As we talked about last week, I'm sure all of you spent the entire week working on getting the club back a little bit more on plane. Now this tip, all we need is golf ball. Draw a wood black dot on the inside of it. Now, when we put down our golf ball, we want that black dot facing inside, almost towards our right foot. And what this is going to do, as we worked on this, get the club back here. Once we get the club to the inside, what we want to feel is getting it back here. This is the impact position we want to get in. So for those people that, again, struggle with coming over the top, what I want you to focus on, and I know it's getting warmer, maybe you can get out to the range, maybe not, but even work on this drill. You want to be here and then feel like you're hitting that black circular square out to right. What this is forcing you to do is get the club inside, down the correct plane, instead of getting it over the top. So, again, back up to the top. All we're working on is clearing our hips, dropping the club down, and this should be our final impact position. Belt buckle's facing the target. We got our weight completely back through. So next time you go to the range, put this ball down, aiming at your right foot, and on the downswing. Again, just work on hitting that ball out to right field. That's going to correct you coming over the top and correct that side spin. Everybody, welcome back to this next week, trying to fix the cure. Thanks for the Slice. Excuse me.
Okay, so it looks like it played. I could hear it.
Yeah, I mean, I could hear it very, very faintly. So I'll speak my ass up next week a little bit. I'll be a little louder. That's my bad, probably. But yeah, so I mean, that's just
We'll fix that. We'll fix that for the YouTube video.
Yeah,
if we
that sounds
possibly
great. Yeah,
can.
it's but yeah, that's actually something that'll be extremely helpful to people that come over the top. Even though you feel like you're trying to hit the ball straight right, your plane and what you're used to will not allow that to happen. But it's literally been nice enough to almost go out to the range and hit balls. So we're getting close, and I'm certainly looking forward to it.
Okay, last week at the end of the show, we predicted after round 1, we went ahead and made our predictions on who would win the tournament, and you went with Rory, and I went with Bryson. So, cha-ching, I actually got the win.
You did.
We also did our three-player snake draft, and you have now beaten me back-to-back in snake drafts.
That's a streak.
I'm going to give you one more for a streak.
Okay, that's fair.
But we're going to do it again. We're going to do it again, and I am going to. I'm going to flip a coin here. Sony is heads. The back is tails. You call it.
All right, I'll go tails.
It's tails. You want first or second pick?
I will take first pick.
All right, you got the first pick. This is for a snake draft for the rest of the. Is it for tomorrow or is it for the tournament? It's for tomorrow.
Yeah, for tomorrow.
For tomorrow's round. Okay, yep. Start with your pick.
Colin Morikawa.
You mother. He's so good.
I'm excited about him tomorrow in the morning. It'll be.
All right,
it'll
Pro
be
takes Colin Morikawa. All right, I'm taking DJ.
Okay, it's a good play. I'll go with Jordan Spieth. Spieth was on my winning team last week, I'm pretty sure.
All right, then I'm going to take Hovland.
Yeah, that's a good pick. Damn. I will take Justin Thomas.
Oh, God, I was trying for the trifecta.
I went down the board a little bit to find him.
Okay. All right. Well, I am going to go down the board a little bit too. And I can't believe I'm doing this. And there's still a couple of players I want to talk about. I am going to go ahead and take John Rahm one more time.
Yeah. Just die on the Rombo.
And so I got DJ, Hovland, and Rahm for tomorrow's round. You've got Colin, Morikawa, Spieth, and JT. There's two players that we didn't talk about today I want to talk on real quick before we close out the show. We didn't say anything at all about Webb Simpson. And a lot of people had Webb, including our boy Justin. Webb had a really clean front nine, 35. He had one birdie, no bogeys. And then he had a really clean back nine. He had one birdie and one bogey for a 36. A 71, he's one under par. I like what I saw out of Webb, especially playing in the morning round. And I don't know, man. He might be the guy I should have taken tomorrow.
Webb's sneaky, right? And this is, again, a lot of these guys, they just know that they just need to put themselves in position. Thursday, Friday is just getting yourself to the weekend, keeping yourself within a handful, 5-6 shots of the lead. He played really well. He played a really clean round today. He's got good vibes around this place. I wouldn't be shocked to see him at the top of the leaderboard come the end of the week. This is his kind of golf course. Yeah, Justin loves him, Webb Simpson, and rightfully so. I mean, the guy's been consistent ever since the anchor ban. He kind of found a way to anchor it under the rules, and he's been really good. So it doesn't surprise me at all. Again, under the radar guy, 1 unders is a pretty place to be come right now. I'd love to be sleeping at 1 under.
Okay, last guy I'm going to talk about, Sungjae Im, clean card, 36-36. 1 birdie, 1 bogey on each 9. I like him to come out tomorrow and shoot at least a 3 under. He's too good, and he doesn't make a whole lot of mistakes, and I think he'll get some of those putts to drop. He had a few really good looks, and so I like him to have a rebound day and put himself in that leaderboard. Yeah,
I agree with you. He lost strokes to the field today on the green, so again, he's as good a ball striker as there is out there. He hit almost 75% of his greens, and as consistent as they come. This guy knows his way around this golf course too. So I would not be surprised. Again, there's the leaderboard right now looks a little murky with some of the names up there, but I can guarantee you there's some big boys that are sitting back and lurking right now that they're going to be there come the weekend.
Okay, so we got our snake draft done. Pick a winner for the tournament. And actually, since you picked in that, I get to pick first.
Sure. You can take Morikawa if you like.
I'm gonna take Bryson. Again.
That's fair. That is fair. I will Bryson.
He's our number 1 play in our model. And he's 3 under. I gotta take him.
Yeah, no, I get it. It makes sense. I'm going to go with Jordan Spieth. That would be my pick.
All right. So your pick to win is Spieth. Mine's Bryson. You got Morikawa, Spieth, and JT. I've got DJ, Hovland, and Rahm. And I should have actually taken Bryson and my snake as well, like you did with Spieth. But
I feel good. I got him double owned.
but that's what it is. That's what it is. And we got a comment saying y'all should build a showdown for tomorrow. You know what? We can do that on the on next week's show. As a matter of fact, we should do that every Thursday night. We should do a showdown build. And so
we can come up with we can.
If you got a minute, we'll do it right now.
Yeah,
you want to build one right now? All right, let me pull it up.
Pulling it up too. This might be harder than we think.
No, it'll be easy. I'm not going to show it. I will just talk it through.
Okay.
All right. So Friday showdown. All right. Let's go with. All right. We got DJ 10-5. We got Rahm 10-3. Schofley, Bryson, Rory, Justin. I'm really liking Justin at 9-4. I think he's going to come back strong.
I like that. 9-4. I would take Justin Thomas 9-4. Yeah, let's stay away from anything at 10. I think.
I don't want to go in the 10s either. And so we got Justin.
Daniel Berger was disappointing today too, by the way.
Oh yeah, we didn't even mention him. He was disappointing. We had a few play on him. He's one of our plays. So we got Justin Thomas at 9-4. All right. Who were some of the guys you said you anticipated to have a really good round tomorrow? I'll just go down the line. Rory's at 9-6. Patrick Cantley 9-3. Webb Simpson 9-2. Finau 9,100. That's actually compelling. Morikawa 9. Berger 89. Spieth 88. Hovland 87.
I like Hovland, or I actually like the idea of Finau for a one-day bounce back tomorrow. But I think I would take Hovland. That gets you us at 87.
Okay, before we take Hovland, let's go down a little bit to some value plays. Let's go down into the 7s and see if we see something we absolutely love. Because there's some players that are really, really good. Look at this. Sergio's at 73. And then Bubba Watson, we talked about him.
I would say, Sergio's. But again, it's hard to bounce back from that. You know what I mean? From that round that he had today.
What about Siwoo Kim? He shot an even par today. He loves this course. He's won on this course. He's a 6,800 player.
Yeah, I think that's a good filler.
He's a great value play for us, and he's a horse for this course, and so I like him a lot. At $6,800, that's going to give us some room to play.
Do you like him more than Keegan Bradley at 6,900?
I'm afraid Keegan Bradley can't put two together as good as he put in today. I think.
I don't disagree.
You don't disagree?
I don't disagree.
Okay. I want to see a little bit more proof. I just know that Pete Dye courses are perfect for Siwoo Kim.
Yep.
And so, and I'm not going to bet on Phil Mickelson.
No, the only other guy in the 7 range, like right at 7,000, I like Brendan Todd a little bit, but I don't love Brendan Todd.
Tell you what, let's see. I'm in the early 7s right now. We've got a lot of money to play with. Let's just go up to what we like. We've got 9,000 per player left. If we can go, I like Emiliano Grillo at 74. I like Louis Oosthuizen at 74.
No, I refuse to take Louis.
I do too. I'm not taking Kokrak or Palmer.
The first thing I did today, I was like, I looked up Louis. I was hoping he was blowing up out there.
All right, here's a guy that I really like. He didn't play great today, but he still finished under. There's two guys I like in the mid 7s. All right, I like Paul Casey. I think he can have a good rebound day tomorrow. Plus, he's +1. And I like Cameron Smith. He's -1. They're both 7,700. I say we take one of those two guys. You pick.
I say Cam Smith.
All right, so we'll take Cam Smith. So now that gives us some money. We can do whatever we want now. We can go Hovland and Morikawa. We can go Webb and Cantley. We can go Rory. Rory could have a bounce back day tomorrow.
What about Spieth?
We can do that. I usually like to take a guy that struggled the one day.
Yeah.
All right. You make the call. You take Spieth. All right, we're taking Spieth. That means we got 10-7. We got 10-7. We can take whoever we want. And if that's the case, I'm going Dustin Johnson at 10-5.
All right, let's do it. Let's spend some money.
So that gives us Dustin Johnson, Justin Thomas, Jordan Spieth, Cameron Smith. Oh, wait just a minute. I hit the wrong guy. Nate Lash. Siwoo Kim. I've got to select one more player at 6,800 or less because it was Nate Lashley. I hit the wrong damn button. So we got a choice between Ian Poulter, who I actually like, Andrew Putnam, who we all liked as a value play, Lee Westwood, who's just playing solid damn golf.
It's true.
And so he would be our cheapest player. And even if he goes out there and shoots 1 under, he could be a great play because he's really good on Pete Dye courses as well. What do you think, man?
I could go for Ian Poulter. That's the one name out of that list that I mean, he had a tough day today, but
what about Gary Woodland?
I
don't think he could do it again.
I don't either. I wish he did because I think Gary Woodland's an awesome dude. So I hope he can, but
so let me ask you: would you like Poulter over Westwood?
No.
So would you like Westwood?
Yes.
Okay, so that gives us Dustin Johnson, Justin Thomas, Jordan Spieth, Cameron Smith, Siwoo Kim, and Lee Westwood.
I like that lineup.
All right, and that's that leaves us with $100. And so I'm going to go ahead and enter this in the $200K approach shot, $50K to first, and let's submit it. $12 entry fee. You owe me $6.
All right, I'm in.
Let's see how we do.
Yeah, hopefully I don't have to send it to you. Hopefully you can just get it tomorrow when we win.
I'll send you $25K.
yeah, exactly. That works out nice for me. Well, that was actually fun. We should definitely do that again.
We'll do a showdown at the end of the show. So we'll do our three player snake, our outright winner, and then we'll do a showdown for the audience. So
sounds good.
Awesome, man. Well, hey, any final thoughts before we take off?
No, everybody enjoy. Check out, seriously, if anybody can, check out all the cool PGA Tour stuff. You don't even have to subscribe. Just go to, I sound like I work for the PGA Tour. Go to PGAtour.com and just check it out.
Yeah.
It's cool as hell. I don't work for the PGA anymore, I promise. But yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. And this weekend, again, if you want to, you can wake up at 6:30 a.m. tomorrow and watch golf until it's dark out. And that's what I plan on doing.
Hey, guys, final thought. Please, if you're watching this on YouTube, hit that thumbs up for us. It really helps us out. Hit the thumbs up, subscribe, and give us a little comment if you don't mind. If you're listening on the podcast, do the same thing. It really means a lot to us. We do this for the love of the game, but it does make us feel good when we get a little bit of kudos for what we're putting out there. Hopefully, you're picking up what we're putting down and you're cashing with us. And so, that being said, peace out, everybody. We'll talk to you next time.
Did you get all that? If not, make sure you head over to Hammercast.com, subscribe, and join the Hammer Nation. Until next time, keep grinding.